to San Antonio Soldados. If you are just joining us, first game went to San Antonio with a score of 185-110 with a catch by Jay Stewart to end the game. Quite an exciting first game. I mean, Kansas City and San Antonio were back and forth for, pretty much the entire first half.
Yeah, early on it was really neck and neck. San Antonio did manage to pull away a bit whenever they had their double female set. Looks like they're coming out in a double male set to start this game, something we didn't see from either side last game.
No, so that should definitely be interesting to see if that changes the dynamic and the strategy at all used during the second game. Starting for Kansas City, we have Mercick Ellis keeping, Brandstetter, Goulet, and
Ryan
Dickey playing. And then feeding, it looks like we got DeWick and number 23.
Looks like Stampede was pretty content with letting Soldados win the quaffle there.
Yeah, it didn't really want to go up against them, it didn't seem like. Blackwood driving the quaffle in, pass back behind hoops to Stewart. Stewart takes the shot, but it is grabbed by Mercick Ellis.
It looks like Stampede has control. They're going to...
Johnson doing an excellent job protecting Mercick Ellis there. Pass back behind hoops to Dickey. Dickey with the shot for a goal for Kansas City. Kansas City with the first goal of the game.
Really strong start there for Kansas City, coming out, getting control against the double male set, getting a quick turnover, and then...
No, it's good to see them come out that strong. So close to begin with, and then San Antonio just pulled away there at the end, so I'm sure that they really want to come back and win this, it being their first series of the season. You want to start off on that strong foot. Blackwood with the quaffle. Goulet really trying to be a bit of a pain and stop Blackwood from driving. Stewart passes across to Esparza.
Yep.
Esparza back into Blackwood.
Yeah.
Blackwood gets the ball knocked away by Goulet.
Yeah. The beaters clear out, but they are not able to capitalize there. And now there's no bludger situation here for...
Yeah, Mercick Ellis to Goulet.
And it looks like that was a really close play, but it looks like San Antonio may have been the ones who struck on some friendly fire there. That makes the score 20-0 in favor of Stampede.
Great catch by Hayworth.
Keeps
San Antonio with bludger control. Esparza walking the quaffle in for San Antonio.
Bit of an overextension there by DeWick. Kind of no real reason to make that throw. Gave away possession.
Absolutely. Esparza charging in. Number 20, Kite, doing a great job of trying to push around the Kansas City defense and get them out of the way of the hoops. Blackwood able to drive in for San Antonio to put San Antonio on the board. Score is 20-10. Kansas City leads.
Yep. DME bringing up the ball for Kansas City.
San Antonio with bludger control in the hands of Himes and Hayworth. Quaffle moving back up top to Mercick Ellis. Kansas City does come away with bludger control. DeWick with one in hand. And his partner picking one up back by the hoops. Curry with a great beat near the San Antonio hoops opens up for Kansas City to get a goal. Score is 30-10.
Yep. Nice little dish off to Joe Goulet, and then a nice interception there by DME.
But he's got Stewart right on his. You have Stewart right on his back, able to make a quick deke.
And that is unfortunate there that they go ahead and use that reset. That was a really tight play there.
Stewart picks off the pass just outside of the San Antonio hoops. Kansas City with bludger control. Reyes gets beat.
There's a lot of chaos going on as Miguel Esparza goes in, makes the drive.
Oh,
just shy.
Shot just low, but Esparza jumping in, no bludgers even to lead the way. Sometimes those shots just go right off the outside of the hoop.
Joe Goulet bringing up the ball, waiting for his teammates to come up. Stampede running a bit more of a methodical offense now.
Mercick Ellis with Quaffle. Reyes trying to control back for Kansas City. And in the meantime, Kansas City scores.
That's going to be the score up to 40-10 Kansas City. They're off to a really strong start.
I think this is the first time all series that Kansas City has led. And Stewart not even going to wait for Kansas City to get set. Or sorry, Blackwood not even going to wait for Kansas City to get set and score. Scores 40-20, Kansas City leads. Mercick Ellis charging. Mercick Ellis behind San Antonio's hoops. Has Goulet open. Goulet charging, shot, and scores.
They say he got that shot off before the beat. That's going to make the score 50-20 in favor of Kansas City.
Getting some fresh legs in for San Antonio.
Yeah. DME out there making a really strong presence between him and Joe Goulet that we really didn't see too much of in the first series.
We got Taharina beating for San Antonio. Kite in for Chaser. Morimoto keeping Esparza outside the keeper zone. Esparza passes to Kite. Kite back up top to Esparza. Esparza back to Kite. Kite passes across to Stewart. Stewart back up top to Avila and to Esparza. Beaters really need to make something happen here. San Antonio's just going to keep passing around until they can.
It's a great block there by Maya.
Oh, and a goal for San Antonio. Morimoto thought he got a hand on it and that it didn't go past through the hoop, but head referee says goal.
Yeah. Kansas City, a little bit of a miscommunication there as they were looking to really press, get on a fast break. Adam Heald did not realize that he was not the keeper there.
Heald with Quaffle in hand on the far side of the pitch. Hinnenbaugh being very aggressive with her bludger. Gets a great beat on McClanahan. Quaffle gets passed off to Heald, but Esparza with a great block on by Heald. Esparza charging down. Tries to roll away from Heald. Looks like there might be a call on the play for a jersey grab. All right, two of the bludgers back on the San Antonio side in the hands of Hinnenbaugh and McClanahan.
Score is currently 30-50 in favor of Kansas City.
And play starts again. Esparza easily puts it through the hoop.
Shifty little play there at the hoops from Miguel, making the score 40-50 in favor of Kansas City.
Morimoto with Quaffle in hand, walking up the pitch. Duncan and McClanahan in beating for Kansas City. San Antonio with bludger control. Pass back behind the hoops. Shot taken, but I believe it was called beat before. Avila picks up Quaffle, hands it off to Esparza. Esparza looking to run, led by Hinnenbaugh. Esparza fakes the tackle, takes the shot, and goal for San Antonio.
Yep.
That'll bring our score even at 50 all.
And it looks like there's going to be a timeout from Kansas City. This beating line for Kansas City really has had no answers for San Antonio. I wonder if they're going to make any changes there. Miguel Esparza has kind of had free reign to do whatever he wants in the keeper zone, and that's a recipe for disaster for Kansas City.
Absolutely. Of all players in San Antonio, Esparza's not the one that just charge on in and take those shots, because he will make those shots no matter where he's at. Kansas City definitely needs to have Duncan and McClanahan figure out how to get control back and how to use their bludgers better defensively for Kansas City, because, I mean, right now it's not showing, unfortunately.
For sure.
Again, score is 50 all. We are tied up. Kansas City was on a run and did take the lead early on, but San Antonio has fought and clawed their way back into this. Teams are getting ready to do chance and return back to their brooms. It'll be interesting to see how the dynamics of the games change after this time out and see what Kansas City can bring to the table.
That is the first timeout for either team used this series, as in game one, I don't believe either team
I don't think either team did at all either. And I just heard from the table that we are at 7 minutes and 30 seconds game time. Quaffle in the hands of Morimoto at Kansas City Hoops. Morimoto walking the Quaffle in, trying to see if McClanahan and Duncan can work on getting bludger control away from Hinenbaugh and Tijerina. Quaffle on the ground on the far side. Healed, passes it off behind Hoops.
That's some nice little 1-2 play there.
And a great shot for a dunk.
Yeah. Max Wallerstein going in there, making a really strong drive there, putting it in, fist to the hoop. That'll make the score 60-50 in favor of Kansas City.
Bludgers are on the ground. Kansas City with none to stop Esparza. Esparza making his way around the hoops and goal for San Antonio.
Yep.
Score 60-0. San Antonio leads.
60 all.
Oh, sorry. Excuse me, 60 all. I don't know why I said 0. Fresh legs coming in into the Quaffle game for Kansas City. We've got Quach with Quaffle in hand. Far side, it looks like we have Grant. Sydney Boger, near side for Kansas City. Grant passing the Quaffle around up top. Grant pass behind Wallerstead. And San Antonio picks up Quaffle. Avila passes the ball off to Carlisle. Carlisle passes far back behind the hoops to Stewart. Stewart charging in, puts the Quaffle through the small hoop. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's just too easy for San Antonio. Kansas City's got to step up there. They've got to put a man on him.
Yeah, absolutely. 70-60 your score now. Kansas City still not able to answer San Antonio's bludger control. Makes it really difficult for them to play defense right now when San Antonio is willing to just charge on in and dunk over the heads of their chasers.
Go defense.
We saw a lot of great blocks from Kansas City early in game one, but we just have not seen that in game two. Every time that San Antonio is getting down to the hoop zone, they're executing and they're putting the ball through the hoop.
Absolutely. I think it's safe to say that Kansas City has definitely been a little bit more stagnant in their defense with San Antonio charging in and just not able to get their hands up on that Quaffle with right there in front of them.
Yep. That is going to be a yellow card on Max Wallerstein. He made a tackle on the keeper in the keeper zone. Just kind of a moment there of being away from the game for a few years.
Yeah, absolutely. One of those things where you just don't realize, oh, it's the keeper that I'm tackling. You just really want that Quaffle so bad. Quaffle in the hands of Avila for San Antonio. San Antonio getting some fresh legs in. We have Hayworth in the beater game.
Bradley Himes, I believe.
Heim. And then coming into with Quaffle is Catherine Hay on the far side. Stewart with the Quaffle behind hoops. A great pick set by Hay for Stewart just to run around and score for San Antonio.
Jay Stewart picking up right where Esparza left off. Had a lot of success driving in, putting the ball through the hoop.
The score is 80-60. San Antonio leads. San Antonio still holding on to bludger control. Hayworth and Himes really just keep continuing to do the work that their team was already doing in the bludger game.
Yep. Interesting to see San Antonio running a three-man zone where earlier in the season they'd been running a strictly 2-2.
Yeah.
As Billy Quach drives in, makes a nice shot in an open hoop as they beat out that chaser.
Yeah,
Puts
absolutely.
them through. Really good communication there between chasers and beaters. Makes the score 80-70 in favor of San Antonio.
Yeah. Quach definitely not new to seeing that defense. Kansas City seemed to have a very quick answer for it. We'll see if San Antonio tries to throw that again or decides to stick with what has worked so far for them. Quaffle loose behind hoops in the hands of Mercick Ellis. Mercick Ellis charging while the rest of his team gets some subs. We got Dickey in. Dickey gets beat, passes the Quaffle off. Gets the ball to number 3, Ruiz. Ruiz gets tackled, Quaffle out.
And there's a no bludger situation here for San Antonio. Joe Goulet doing a great job being able to strip the ball.
Yep, Avila got the ball stripped from him by Goulet, but Goulet was the one that sent the ball flying out of bounds, so it'll be an inbound for San Antonio on the far side. Blackwood into the chasing game for San Antonio. Clanahan with the lone bludger on Kansas City defense.
Brian Dickey able to get a hand up on that.
Quaffle goes into the hands of Mercick Ellis, keeper for Kansas City. And DeWitt comes into the beater game for Kansas City. Quaffle far side. Back up top to Mercick Ellis. Mercick Ellis charging. And a great shot by Mercick Ellis just from the top of the keeper zone.
And San Antonio is going to look to go. The only bludger is currently way behind the hoops for Kansas City. And now they're going to have to make a no bludger stop on Dylan Freeman, a man.
That's not someone that I want to try to make a no bludger stop on. Great pass.
Excellent play by DME there, getting the stop.
Awesome stop from Kansas City. Almost a goal for Hay.
As they continue to move the ball around.
Yep, pass outside to Goulet. Pass back to Ruiz.
Yep, there's some strong pressing there by San Antonio, but Kansas City is able to maintain the Quaffle.
We're going to have a stoppage of... So Quaffle in the hands of Mercick Ellis right now. We got one bludger back behind San Antonio hoops. But it looks like... Trying to see. The 33, Johnson, is about ready to get.
It looks like it was determined that there's no foul on the play.
Bludger control in the hands of San Antonio. Johnson trying to strip the ball. Unable to do so. DeWitt makes a bit of an opening for a second. Mercick Ellis unable to capitalize on it. Pass the ball to Goulet. Goulet slowly working around, waiting for DeWitt to make a play on the San Antonio beaters and open something up in San Antonio's defense. Pass made back behind hoops to Mercick Ellis.
Yeah, looks
Mercick
like Stampede
Ellis
is able to secure bludger control in this exchange.
Yeah, Mercick Ellis with a great bludger block, charges in, gets the ball to Goulet. Goulet with the little tap through the hoop.
We're gonna play, and that'll bring the score to 80-90 in favor of Kansas City.
So Kansas City takes back over the lead of this game. All bludgers are on the ground. Johnson makes a beat on Hindenbaugh. Also makes a beat on Taharina.
Yep.
Shot taken, but no one's selling anything, so I don't think anything is good there.
No, shot just wide there by Miguel Esparza. And the only bludger for San Antonio is well behind the hoops.
Yes, well behind Kansas City hoops. It looks like they're telling Mercick Ellis that he's going to have to inbound from back behind Kansas City hoops.
It looks like he's eager to get going, as
Absolutely.
There's going to be a no bludger situation here.
As he should.
And it looks like Kansas City
taking it a bit slow, trying to see if the beaters can lead the way now that they've got control. Mercick Ellis passes to Goulet. Goulet, excuse me. Goulet with easy goal there.
Yeah. Just a nice 1-2 there. Dumps it off. Easy goal.
Yes. Scores 100-80. Kansas City.
And with that, there's going to be a timeout by San Antonio.
San Antonio did kind of start to pull away here, but Kansas City has done well. After subbing out for the beaters and getting Johnson and DeWitt into the game, it's definitely changed things up for Kansas City.
Yeah, Kalen Johnson, Justin DeWitt, the teammates at Mizzou, they've worked together for the last, I believe, only this season, as Kalen Johnson, this is their first year. Justin DeWitt, obviously part of that Mizzou Final Four team years ago.
I was going to say, he's been part of that program for really as long as I can remember. I think when I think of Mizzou, I just think of DeWitt.
Yeah, he's been there for a long time. He's gone in. His aggressive presence has really changed the game for Kansas City. They're on a 40-0 run.
That's exactly what they needed at this point in time, and it's obvious why San Antonio decided to finally use one of their timeouts to try to really regroup and get things back together. Kansas City returning to their brooms.
Yeah, and as much as the difference that Justin DeWitt has made in the beating game, you also cannot forget the impact that Joe Goulet and DME are going to have in the chasing game.
Oh, absolutely. They've been passing the ball back and forth to get almost every single one of the past 4 goals that they've got.
Yeah,
And you still can't discount just doing whatever it takes to get the ball through. That little flick that Goulet had there for one of the last goals was, not typical, but absolutely beautiful at the same time.
Absolutely, yeah. Looks like San Antonio is going to take their time, allow their beater to recover the one bludger, see if they can break down this beating core.
Yep, and get some fresh legs into the game. Kite in at beater
Yeah, looks
for
like
San
they're
Antonio.
bringing in Kat Hayworth as well. They're running back to a double female set.
And this set was electric for them in game 1. So we'll see if they can help change the pace for San Antonio yet again here in game 2. Esparza with Quaffle. Passes far outside to Blackwood. Blackwood charging.
And
Takes
just
a shot.
short.
Just short. Just low.
Excellent dodge there by Justin DeWitt, just off screen, as he's able to recover the bludger, maintain bludger control for Kansas City.
Yeah, and San Antonio able to maintain Quaffle despite the missed shot. Esparza with it back in the near side corner. Long pass back up top to Blackwood. Blackwood to Stewart. And DeWitt playing very aggressive on beater. Maybe extends a little bit too far and allows Stewart to get in for the goal for San Antonio.
That is...
Scores 90-100. Kansas City with 100, San Antonio with 90. But Mercick Ellis charging in, unstoppable.
Yeah. Darren Mercick Ellis, the team didn't have either bludger. He didn't care.
No.
Just ran in.
Just ran in. Scores 110-80 with that goal from Mercick Ellis. Mercick Ellis, of course, one of the players from Creighton who made it to the finals game this year for U.S. Quidditch Cup for the college program, and also recently picked up onto the U.S. national team. Blackwood with Quaffle for San Antonio. San Antonio with bludger control. Passes Quaffle to Esparza. Esparza, long pass back behind the hoops to Avila. Avila back across to Stewart. Stewart charging. No one can stop Stewart on that one.
Yeah, that pass off to the wing where he just cuts inside, it has worked over and over for San Antonio. It's really tough to find an answer for it. He's just electric on that wing.
He's so quick to catch the Quaffle and just, throw it accurately and fast that no one can even stop it. Scores 110-100. Kansas City leads. Hayworth and Kite doing an excellent job keeping bludger control for San Antonio. 2 bludgers go down. It looks like Kansas City's going to gain bludger control off of that play. Goulet passes to Mercick Ellis up top. Hayworth, the only one with the bludger in San Antonio's defense. Esparza trying to push Goulet and Mercick Ellis outside, trying not to let them take these shots or charge in unopposed. Mercick Ellis makes his way around and takes the shot and score for Kansas City. Scores 120-100. Kansas City leads.
Yeah, that's the one downside of them switching from that 2-2 zone they've run all year to more of a 3-1, where you don't have that second chaser to go step up, get a physical challenge on him before he gets to the hoops.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference that it made there in Kansas City's favor. Quaffle behind hoops for Kansas City, back out to Avila. Avila passes up top to Esparza. San Antonio really just doing a great job working the Quaffle around the hoops of Kansas City, waiting for bludgers to be on the ground and open something up. Quaffle is loose on the far side. Blackwood able to just roll it on the ground, get away. Gets beat in the process.
Come on, defense!
That was a great beat by number 7, Dvorak of Kansas City, really critical in that moment. Mercick Ellis walking up, protected by Dvorak.
And it looks like they did switch back over to a 2-2 zone.
Heel.
Adam Heel doing a great job making a man miss the dish, and he sends that through.
Goal for Kansas City.
That little side step is just quintessential Adam Heel.
Yes, it is. Scores 130 to 100. And the thing about Adam Heel's the sidestep is it's usually twice as big as my sidestep because he's about twice as tall. 19:30 game time.
Looks like San Antonio is likely to hold for this last possession. They're going to recover, make a beating change.
Get the players they want onto the field when they get ready for snitch on pitch. Esparza and Freeman passing the quaffle along up top. Kansas City with bludger control. Find it likely that any team that is on the last possession usually wants to try to go into intermission with bludger control. So it'll be interesting to see what Hayworth and Kite can perform here. And they do. They get bludger control off that. San Antonio takes the shot and it goes rolling out of bounds. So that'll be taking us into intermission there with San Antonio with bludger control.
Only for a moment it appeared as if they had bludger control. I'm not sure who's going to come away with it. It looks like there's a loose bludger out back near mid-pitch, and then there's another bludger that it looks like Cat Hayworth is going to come with. So we're going to go into stitch on pitch with really some bludgers up for grabs.
That's the most exciting way to go into stitch on pitch, in my opinion. So our score right now is 130 to 100. Set score will be 190.
Yeah. Both teams doing a great job of adapting this game. It looks like there's been a series of runs where one team will go with something that's working, the other team will make a quick adjustment, and really most of these adjustments have seemed to work for both sides.
Absolutely, and I think both sides have realized too, with each other, they've just got to keep each other on their toes, see what works, see what doesn't work, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yes, absolutely. And we mentioned earlier the lack of depth that San Antonio has, only bringing their 16 players. That hasn't really shown too much. They've been looking to run a pretty upbeat offense. They're looking to go out and run.
Yeah, San Antonio's looking fit. It looks like, their endurance has been completely unyielding in all of this, despite not having the same numbers that Kansas City has. Plus, I can't imagine the travel that, always takes its toll for some of these series.
Yeah, San Antonio is a pretty lengthy drive here from Kansas City. So I know that a lot of these players drove out last night and were able to kind of stretch their legs, but some of these players coming in today, that's tough to roll out of a car and onto a broom.
Yes, absolutely. It definitely takes a little bit more time to get that stiffness out of your back and legs after you've been sitting in a car for an extended number of hours. All right, players are returning to their brooms. We have a new snitch on pitch this time around. Aaron Stout snitching after our snitch in game 1. Matt Melton sustained a small injury.
Aaron Stout, I believe this is the first iteration of Kansas City Stampede that has not featured Aaron Stout. He made his Quidditch debut back in the initial 2016 roster, and he's been a key presence for them ever since.
Absolutely. And it looks like coming in for Kansas City at seeker, we have number 48, Goulet. San Antonio looks like they might be sending Carlisle in to start. So again, set score for you today, 190 for this game. Seekers are released in 10 seconds after game has started. And really, it's still anybody's game. Kansas City, of course, leading right now, but anything can happen once the snitch is on pitch.
Yeah. Looks like San Antonio are going to allocate both bludgers to the snitch.
Mercick Ellis and he quaffle around for a great goal there. Score 140 to 100 Kansas City. Great catch by Reyes. Unfortunately, he gets beat on the second one. Both Kansas City beaters are beat.
It looks like Kansas City is able to come away with control.
Esparza slowly walking the quaffle, trying to let beaters do the work that they need to do on this snitch in order to let their seeker get time with the snitch. Stewart and Himes in beating for San Antonio. Carlisle with a great dive towards the snitch, unable to get the catch though. Esparza on the far side with the quaffle near Kansas City hoops. Making a run. Heel doing a great job keeping Esparza outside the keeper zone.
Yep.
Putting the pressure on, trying not to make it easy for San Antonio to score.
Neither team has really had many good opportunities at the snitch to this point. It looks like both beaters have done a pretty good job of keeping those seekers off of the snitch.
That's one of those moments where you just never know what's going to happen. Esparza just running back and forth really across the backside of Kansas City hoops.
And as I say that, Joe Goulet is getting some nice time alone with the snitch.
Esparza passes to Avila. Avila moving the quaffle back up top in front of Kansas City's hoops. Great pressure being put on Avila by number 12, Brandstetter of Kansas City. Brandstetter gets beat.
Jay Stewart, it appears that Jay Stewart has come down with another big catch for San Antonio.
That would bring San Antonio back into this game. I mean, score right now is 140 to 100. That 35-point snitch catch would make it 140 to 135.
The call is something like catch is going to be good.
It's looking like the catch is going to be good. I didn't hear an official call for it, but they are switching seekers off the pitch. And the snitch has left the pitch as well. So score is 140 to 135. San Antonio with that catch by Carlisle. Set score is 190. Quaffle back behind Kansas City hoops was in the hand of San Antonio, but a great strip by Mercick Ellis. Mercick Ellis has Esparza on his back.
The other element of that catch, not only is that 30 points for San Antonio, but they also get Jay Stewart back in the quaffle game after a brief rest, so that's going to be a huge benefit for them as well. He's been electric today.
Yeah, that'll definitely help them out. We'll see if San Antonio can pull back into this since Kansas City has led for the last few. A great shot by Kansas City.
Sydney Boger behind the hoops there. A nice shot, bringing the score up 150 to 135.
That was some great passing by Kansas City. Kansas City also coming out of that with bludger control. Duncan and McClanahan with bludgers for Kansas City. Esparza walking the quaffle up for San Antonio, led by Robles and Hinnenbaugh in beating. Vila passes back to Esparza. Hinnenbaugh faces off with McClanahan. McClanahan makes a great catch to keep bludger control for Kansas City. Stewart, nice dancing near the hoops, but gets tackled by Morimoto. Quaffle is loose on the far side of the pitch. Esparza unfortunately kicks it unintentionally and sends it rolling off pitch.
Yeah, looks like he was just trying to distance himself from the traffic that was happening near the Kansas City sideline. Just gets a little bit too much on it and sends it out of play.
Yeah, and that's difficult with the amount of traffic that there was all right there at the same time.
It looks like we've got a beater change in for Kansas City as Justin DeWick has come back into the game.
Yep, DeWitt coming in with Gutierrez. And Quach with the quaffle for Kansas City.
Let's switch it. Quach and Senna Morimoto. Also fresh bodies on the pitch.
A great beat by Hinnenbaugh on Mercick Ellis. Turns over the quaffle to Avila of San Antonio. San Antonio charging, no bludgers on defense for Kansas City. Quaffle gets in the hands of Esparza. Esparza takes a shot and goal for San Antonio. Score is 150 to 145. Quaffle going way off pitch, back behind Kansas City hoops. Oh, sorry, we got an extra quaffle.
We've got extra quaffles behind both of the hoops for those instances which quaffle's going on. Keep the play moving.
That's always helpful on turf because that quaffle just tends to roll and roll and roll.
Yeah, there's a lot of real estate behind these hoops, so having an extra ball behind the hoops.
Boger, led by DeWick, charges in, pops back out, passes the ball to Mercick Ellis. Mercick Ellis has Morimoto and Quach back behind hoops. Hinnenbaugh with a great beat on Morimoto limits Mercick Ellis' options. He takes the shot and it is no good, knocking over the center hoop. Stewart was looking to fast break, but then realized DeWick was already back with the bludger in front of Kansas City hoops. And so is Duncan.
Score
Sorry,
is
Johnson. That's not Duncan.
Yeah.
My bad.
Score is 150-145 in favor of Kansas City.
Esparza passes outside to Kite. Kite back up to Esparza. Hayworth with San Antonio's bludger in the middle, looking to try to make something happen. Johnson gets extended too far out.
Yep. And it looks like the beaters are all sucked into the beating game. There's a bit of space in the Quaffle game.
DeWick able to help keep bludger control for Kansas City there while Johnson tagged up. It doesn't even matter as Avila comes through and scores for San Antonio. San Antonio steals the lead, scores 155-150. Bludger's being thrown in the middle of the pitch.
Yep. Billy able to drive that one in, put it through.
That was a great pass from Mercick Ellis to Quach.
It looks like we have a foul in play, calling for net contact.
Small discussion. No foul on the play. Goal was good.
Yeah. That will make it 160-155, Kansas City.
I think we're back to just having these goals exchanged, which is exciting. Again, our set score is 190.
Yep.
So we shall see how both teams adjust or if they just go for it at this stage. Esparza with Quaffle in hand. Hayworth trying to get a bludger back out of the hands of DeWick. Unsuccessful, has to run back to her hoops. Kite asking for help from her beaters. Kansas City doing a great job of putting the pressure on to San Antonio, put them outside of the keeper zone, not even letting them get those shots off. Blackwood with the Quaffle for San Antonio. Blackwood pass across to Esparza.
It looks like Kansas City's switching from a 2-2 to a 3-1 as Billy gets beat out there.
Yeah, two of the bludgers.
Goes up, nice block, and there's a 1v1 here.
Mercick Ellis.
Santa Morimoto coming in.
Morimoto.
And he's able to get that shot off, and it is good. The score is 170-155 in favor of Kansas City. Set score is 190.
Morimoto not even letting that little bit of a push deter him at all from scoring on those hoops. Great pass from Mercick Ellis, and great on Morimoto for making that run up there to be there, because otherwise it was going to be Mercick Ellis and Esparza one-on-one with each other.
And it looks like we may have an issue where the third bludger was disappearing for a moment. Bludger's returned to play.
Bludger on the far side in the hands of Himes for San Antonio.
Yeah, Joe Goulet getting a strip there, but just beat out quickly.
Ball back to Stewart. Stewart passes back up top to Blackwood.
Yep. McClanahan with a nice block. McClanahan and Curry holding on to bludgers for Kansas City, locking down that defense. Hayworth for San Antonio trying to make something happen. She gets the beat on McClanahan, but McClanahan is able to make the catch before that ball hits the ground. Kite with the Quaffle back behind. Yeah. Looks like there's a lot of possession there, a lot of pressure there. There's one bludger back for San Antonio. Doesn't look like Kansas City is going to look to break.
Stewart
there's some pressure in the keeper zone.
Goulet trying to get away, and a great beat made by Curry to sort of free up Kansas City and let them move that Quaffle forward.
Jay Stewart looking relentless behind the hoops there, trying to make something happen.
Kansas City holding on to their bludgers in the hands of McClanahan and Curry. Goulet with the Quaffle passes back up to Mercick Ellis. Switch happening up top. Mercick Ellis charging.
And it looks like he's able to get a little bit of help from the beater there. There's a bludger battle happening right behind the San Antonio chaser. That'll make it 180-155 in favor of Kansas City. Next goal will win for Kansas City.
So yeah, 180-155. Next goal for Kansas City would end this game with set score 190. San Antonio being very methodical. They have bludger control right now in the hands of Hayworth and Himes. Blackwood passes the ball back behind to Kite.
Yep.
Kite throws out to Stewart. Stewart back up top to Esparza. Small misplay, but he does not let it cross center, so they still have their reset available to them.
Yeah, really good footwork there just to avoid using the reset. It's just a little thing, but it's really helpful.
And Goulet was charging down Esparza there. A great beat by Himes to try to give Esparza a little bit more time to recover that quaffle.
Yeah, and there's San Antonio sending both of their bludgers back, making sure they're not going to get hit on the fast break.
Shot by Stewart is good.
Yeah, able to get a goal with neither of their bludgers involved. That is a really big thing if they're able to do that.
It's that shot that he has. Just gets that ball back there and then pushes it through.
Yeah, score is 165-180 Kansas City with the ball here. They will win the game if they're able to score on this possession.
Mersick Ellis with quaffle. Has Goulet and Morimoto and Ruiz with them. Pass to Goulet.
Yeah. Looks like they're able to generate
Mersick
a no
Ellis
bludger
gets
situation.
beat. A great step up by Blackwood. Blackwood takes the quaffle away. It's one-on-one, Mersick Ellis and Blackwood scores. Scores 175-180.
And it looks like there's a stoppage.
Things are definitely getting a little hot here, but I mean, anything would when the score is that close.
Yeah, this game has been extremely tight. There's close bludger play up at center pitch.
Yeah, the beaters have been, I mean, yes, it takes the quaffle going through the hoops to win the game, but at the same time, the beaters have been putting excellent spaces in play for those quaffle players on these breakaways, on these charges. I mean, the bludger control has switched so often this last game. I would say it's probably close to 50-50 at this point.
Yeah, it has been very back and forth. Brian McClanahan, it looks like he's been a little heated this game, and just looking to see what the call is going to be here.
Yeah, our score right now, 180-175. Again, that set score 190. San Antonio did take the first game, 185-110. Kansas City trying to see if they can take this second one.
Yeah. Both captains pleading their case here.
And it looks like head referees talking to a couple players.
And Jackson pulling out a yellow card here. Pat Hayworth getting a yellow card.
That could be very...
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the nail in the coffin of this game for San Antonio, taking one beater out of the play.
And it looks like that is going to take the goal off of the board as well.
Okay, so 180-165 is your score. Even with that happening, I'm not sure if, I think they're going to turn one of the bludgers back over to the hands of Kansas City on that, which is what
Kansas City is going to get control back. It looks like they are making a call there for a play after beat.
Yeah. So Kansas City has quaffle in hand, has control, and San Antonio is down one of the beaters that has been critical for them in both of these games. So
guys, like you'd expect Kansas City to make their push right here, try to end the game right now.
Absolutely. I mean, things are definitely stacked in the favor of right now, but that's not, and the players that are currently on the pitch are going to let it come easily. Esparza with a great tackle on
Tackle by Miguel Esparza.
And that quaffle is just on the ground, and they are scrumming, trying to see who can have it. Still in the hands of Esparza. Both Kansas City players release the quaffle. A great stop by San Antonio.
Huge tackle there for San Antonio. It looks like they're going to be able to try to kill some time, get Cat back on the field.
Esparza coming up the pitch. Kansas City with one player extended just past the keeper zone. Kansas City choosing to keep one bludger in next to the hoops. McClanahan playing aggressive up top, trying to keep Heim occupied. Esparza passes to Blackwood. And San Antonio is back at full strength. They have Hayworth back in the game for them. Himes beating McClanahan. Also getting beat himself. Hayworth gets bludger control back for San Antonio, and San Antonio scores.
Yeah, San Antonio able to get a goal there. Get control. That is absolutely massive for them.
Scores 175, 180.
Yep.
Back where we just were. So 2 goals would do it for Soldados. 1 more goal would do it for Kansas City. Kansas City with Quaffle in the hands of Mercick Ellis. Duncan and McClanahan looking to get those bludgers on the ground.
Yep.
Make a hole for one of their Quaffle players to make their way in. Morimoto, Goulet, and Mercick Ellis with Ruiz.
Yeah, a little Creighton trio out there for Kansas City.
Pass off to Ruiz. She gets beat by Heim. Quaffle gets picked up by Kite. Running, chooses to hold off, realizing that McClanahan has a bludger back on Kansas City hoops already.
Yep. It's another very good stop there for San Antonio.
San Antonio coming up strong with those stops on the last 4 drives now.
And they are sending both of their beaters back on defense again.
Blackwood with a long
And it
pass
looks
to
like they are going to
Stewart
be...
with a rolling off pitch. That's unfortunate for San Antonio. Morimoto inbounds the ball to Mercick Ellis.
And it looks like San Antonio is looking to implement a little bit of 1.5 there as they were sending a beater up without a bludger while they maintain control.
Yep, San Antonio now with Hayworth and Tijerina in with bludgers on defense. Mercick Ellis passes outside to Morimoto. Back up top to Mercick Ellis. Bludgers are on the ground. McClanahan making the no bludger situation. Mercick Ellis.
Mercick Ellis. There is...
All right.
And there's a stoppage as there...
It looks...
Kansas City is...
Ecstatic
over there on that
but
sideline.
there were mixed calls on the goal. I saw some hands in the air. I saw some hands saying no. It all just sort of depends on who had the better angle.
As I was seeing yes, I was seeing no, I was seeing beat after, I was seeing just about every call you could hear.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff happening all at once there. So it'll be, I mean, in the end, the referees will make the call.
Right. Looks like Darren just getting stretched out a bit.
Yeah, Mercick Ellis has played majority of this game for Kansas City. Not surprising that after something like that needs a little stretch just in case this game is not quite over, which wouldn't be the first time that we've seen something like that.
Yeah, he has played quite a few minutes. He's been really key for Kansas City.
And the goal is good.
Yep.
So goal is good. Final score 190 to 175. Kansas City taking the second game will split the series so far now. San Antonio winning game number 1, Kansas City with game number 2. We'll be back here shortly with game number 3.